Your Excellency Philip Davis, the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Bahamas, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Professor Benedict Orama, and the AFREXIMBANK fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, it is a singular honor to have this opportunity to join you at the 31st annual meeting of the AFREXIMBANK, which takes place at the same time and place as another equally important and exciting gathering, the Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Both events are highly significant in terms of our sustained discourse with regard to developing a viable pathway to inclusive transformation, also with respect to this inflection point in world development that we find ourselves in. We are living in a momentous juncture of global history when humanity is collectively struggling to pursue prosperity while managing a complex intersection of dynamic challenges, including explicit existential threats. Globalization and the fourth industrial revolution are potentially tides that can lift every boat in the global economic waters by making it possible for talent and skill to meet opportunity, enabling technological advancement to spread across national, regional, and continental frontiers, and fostering the emergence of a socio-political, cultural, and economic international community. At the same time, we are only beginning to see glimpses of hopes of recovery in the aftermath of a devastating pandemic. Geopolitical rivalries are driving regional conflicts which disrupt international commodity supply chains with serious negative ramifications in every part of the globe. Climate change continues to wreak havoc on every continent, intensifying extreme weather events and subjecting fragile economies and communities to severe drought, destructive flooding, storms and heat waves, which destroy public infrastructures and private property, as well as lives and livelihoods. As with adversity, these challenges generally exert their greatest negative effect on the most vulnerable, which is, in global terms, in the global south, and notably Africa and the Caribbean. The disruption of international supply chains, first by COVID-19 pandemic and thereafter by the wars in Europe and Middle East, raised the prices of essential commodities beyond the reach of many households and caused shortages of food commodities, driving millions who were enduring prolonged droughts and devastating floods to the brink of starvation. Although Africa contributes less than 4% of the global greenhouse gas emissions, it continues to bear a disproportionate share of the adverse effects of climate change. All these negative effects are also fuel for conflicts and drivers of war, climate and economic refugee phenomena, and occur against the backdrop of tremendous potential, especially in our continent. With a median age of 19, Africa is the world's youngest continent, with over 10 million well-educated, highly skilled, and motivated young people joining the workforce every year. Our continent is also endowed with unrivaled mineral resources and renewable energy potential. We have over 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land. This means that there exists massive potential for investment, not only to generate clean energy, process the mineral resources, and work the land, but also to power enterprise and households with electricity and connect our economies by developing transport and communication infrastructures, thus creating employment opportunities for millions of our young people. Our continent and its economies must generate sufficient growth to create wealth and employment and the resilient against the mounting challenges and constant threats of disruption, especially from climate change. This calls for unprecedented levels of investment and technology in order to transform the continent's potential into sustainable opportunities for our 1.4 billion people. The greatest, ladies and gentlemen, barrier to accessing the levels of investment anywhere near the levels required is the perverse character of the international architecture of international finance, which systematically locks out Africa and Caribbean economies, the most deserving, from affordable investment and development financing, leaving them with unsustainable and predatory financial markets, which consign us into debt distress and diminishing prospects of development. The reform of the architecture of international finance system is a developmental imperative for Africa, and a course that African leadership, including Africa's sixth region, the Caribbean, must champion collectively, consistently, and without equivocation. We believe that this forum and the reform of the global financial architecture must be complemented by significant strengthening of Africa's regional and continental financial institutions. For this reason, the creation of the Association of African Multilateral Financial Institutions, AMFI, is a highly welcome development which demonstrates our commitment to deliver a fit-for-purpose financial system and provides an opportunity for the achievement of financial scale through the collaborative mobilization of development financing. I therefore call for solidarity and unity in support of AMFI. A certain critical level of investment is required to catalyze Africa's takeoff as the epicenter of a new green global industrialization revolution. Strong continental development financial institutions are crucial for the emergence of this global Africa. I propose that AFREXIMBANK, the champion of this initiative, be designated as the facilitating global institution and consequently accorded the necessary support to succeed in driving this critical agenda. This institution's foremost credentials is its track record of customizing investment financing to meet different project requirements in different countries and regions. The AU's Agenda 2063, which constitutes the blueprint of Pan-African transformation, recognizes the overarching need for African solutions for African problems. This philosophy applies to financial and economic matters as it does to political ones. I recognize that African central banks are fundamental pillars of strong African development financial institutions because through them, African governments can channel structured support to facilitate AFREXIMBANK. To release more African resources for investment in African development, I propose that African central banks and governments commit to reallocate 30% of their national reserves to AFREXIMBANK and other African development banks. Ladies and gentlemen, I commend you for your commitment to make a way forward and determination to increase effort in meeting every new challenge. With this spirit, our engagements in this forum will shine a bright light into the uncertainty before us, and our collaboration will guide us along a sure path towards prosperity. I am proud to be part of this event. I wish you all fruitful deliberations and most favorable outcomes. I thank you.